up next.
No need to even stay tuned, Ryan. What we're looking at here is these athletes being ushered out onto the track, and I just want to let all these fans know at home that they're in store for something special. First off, there's 4 sections of the seated 5,000 meters here. 4 sections of the 5,000 meters. There's 9 athletes in this first section. I'm going to lead off with some accomplishments of this entire crew, just so we know where we're at, where we're going, okay? First off, Courtney Frericks from Nike Bowerman Track Club. Frericks is the Olympic silver medalist in the 3,000-meter steeplechase. Then, after her teammate Elise Cranny from the Nike Bowerman Track Club, Cranny is an Olympian in 2020.
Oh, okay.
Ellie Hennis from Adidas. Hennis, indoor and outdoor All-American. Corinna Vilhoyen from Mammoth Track Club. Vilhoyen's a national champion in the mile. Palladino, very accomplished long-distance runner, All-American from Providence. She's running with New Balance. Jenny Nesbitt is also running unattached. Edna Kurgat from Nike and the U.S. Army. Kurgat was the National Athlete of the Year collegiately in 2017. Lane number 8, Gabriela Debues-Stafford, who I've been teasing it all day long. I think may be aiming to go and break the Canadian indoor record in the 5K. Stafford holds the record in the 1,500, the mile, the 3K, and the 5K. Your number to watch here is 14:57 for Gabrielle Debues-Stafford. And rounding out your field in Section 1 of the women's 5,000 meters, you have Roseanne Flanagan, who's running unattached, previously from Adams State.
A lot of heavyweights in this heat, Sean.
Oh, it feels like a Tyson Spinks fight for sure. For sure. I think these guys come down from altitude ready to run fast, so we're going to let them here at Boston University, the launching pad. Here wearing hip number 4, it's Corinna Vilhoyen, the mile specialist, going in at a seed time of 14:55. To me, that means Vilhoyen's in here as a rabbit for the 2 ladies who are tucked behind her. That's Frerick, Stafford, and Cranny. 1, 2, 3.
Ladies coming up at 600 meters. We'll see where they're at. They're at 71 seconds through the 4. Looks like 1:47.
Vilhoyen really keeping a smooth pace here. Frerick's behind, composed. Again, the Olympic silver medalist is somebody that Cranny especially follows behind a lot, but Stafford, within her own right, is very accomplished on the international stage from Canada. Again, all those Canadian records that she holds. Gabriela Debues-Stafford broke that 3K national record last week at the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix.
We'll see where these ladies are at through 800 meters. 2:22.
2:22 is the pace set by Corinna Vilhoyen. It's still Frerick, Stafford, Cranny, and Kurgat. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So at this pace currently, if they hold it, this 5K is going to be 14:48.
14:48 in the 5K gets us to a spot, folks, where we'll see a Canadian national record go down.
Yeah, I got to hope these ladies can hang on.
Still early, remember, we have quite a few laps around the track in the 5K. Vilhoyen still setting some really great pace. Expect her to sort of stick around for 1,500 or a mile. Frerick, Stafford, and Cranny.
We're sub-3 through the 1,000. Keeping an eye on that projected 5K pace. We're now at 14:50. So as you might expect, slowing down just a little bit at this point in the race, but these athletes are more than capable of responding to slight lulls in the action here.
Vilhoyen still up front. Frerick, Stafford, and Cranny behind, starting to separate a little bit from Kurgat. Kurgat, we know, very capable of hanging with that pack. Behind them, it's Ellie Hennis and also Millie Palladino running with New Balance. We see this time and time again from these Bowerman Track Club athletes. They come down here to Boston University, down from altitude, get on the launching pad and run some quick times. Vilhoin, Frericks, Stafford, and Cranny. Kurgat's taking over the chase pack, followed by Hennis and Palladino. Nesbitt and Flanagan bringing up the rear.
And their pace, projected pace, has now dropped to 14:56. So we're going to see a Canadian national record. Can't drop down too much further.
I remember back in the day being at one of those Oregon Project performances, probably back in 2014, and having a conversation with Fondor about just how important it was to hit some of those early paces. I remember Fondor having to bring Mary Kane through her mile facility record here. Mary Kane setting a junior record that night. And Fondor said the stress that she had as a rabbit in a race like this was paramount.
And what an era of American running that was.
We're in the depths of it right now. American running is as good as it ever has been. Vilhoin up front, led by somebody like Courtney Frericks and Elise Cranny there. Debues-Stafford, North American running from Canada, tucked in there in the middle.
We're still right around that 14:57 5K pace. So these ladies are right on it.
These Bowerman Track Club ladies are getting splits from a lot of different angles. They have their athlete rep here at the end of the track. Coach Jerry Schumacher's in town. So isn't Shalane Flanagan. Doing the three-corner approach. Jerry in the far right corner, Mason Sodenfeld up here on the top of the track, and then Shalane Flanagan at the home straight.
Feel sneaky.
Vilhoin does a great job of pacing. Frericks is going to take the way. Stafford's behind her. Cranny's going to go too. These Bowerman ladies are starting to separate out a little bit more. Leading that chase pack is Allie Hennis and Millie Palladino. Frericks and Stafford. Getting their instructions from Coach Jerry over there in the corner. Frericks, Stafford, Cranny. I'm sitting on pins and needles up here from this camera deck. Frericks is going to shift, let Stafford do some work. Cranny's still going to settle in.
Good move by Stafford. We were hanging out around 15 flat pace and just dropped to 14:58. So if these ladies can keep surging these next couple laps and hold and have a nice finish, they'll be under that Canadian record.
Yeah, Stafford, Cranny, and Frericks are going to swap who's leading here, who's going to have to do most of the work. Nice part of it is we have somebody sort of keeping pace up there at the front of the pack. The rest of the crew can just follow, keep it out of their head, and run relaxed.
This really is great teamwork by the Bowerman teammates here.
Stafford, Cranny, and Frericks really just looking super smooth. No one looks like they're straining at all.
And the pace is definitely dropping.
Yeah, we're coming up on 2,800 meters full on in this race right now. Every 400 meters, they're swapping. Stafford's hopping out, Cranny's hopping in. Elise Cranny's going to go do some work. Hearing some small applause from these college athletes who have been allowed in here. Obviously, if there were spectators allowed into Boston University without COVID restrictions, this place would be very loud.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cranny's pushing hard and Stafford's going with her. Cranny, Stafford, and Frericks. Elise Cranny, the Olympian, Stafford, an Olympian, and the Olympic silver medalist, Courtney Frericks, there too.
Through 3,000 meters, 8:57. On pace for 14:55.
Whew, we're blazing here.
And it looks like the pace has actually picked up again, coming around the back stretch.
Elise Cranny learned a lot while she was at Stanford, and turning those wheels was one of them. She's only improved it as a member of that Bowerman track club. Elise Cranny and Stafford going together. Frericks falling off just a little bit, but Cranny and Stafford know which pace they need to hit. Debues-Stafford trying again for that 14:57 mark, which is the Canadian national record.
Yeah, Sean, this projected pace now dropped down to 14:52.
Yeah, Elise is smoking this pace right now. Looks like she's running an all-out mile effort, and Stafford's doing really well to stick with her.
This is actually insane as we keep seeing this projection dropping. 14:50 now as we're going through 3,400 meters.
I don't think we're in danger of a facility record here tonight. That's Coco Constantine from, I always struggle with her last name, but you know who I'm talking about when I talk about Coco. Coco has the facility record here in the 5K at 14:30, but again, the Canadian record is in danger. Cranny and Stafford, 1-2. Lead pack, applause is starting to get louder.
And they're still picking up the pace, dropping that projection down to 14:48. Seems to drop by a couple of seconds each lap. So pretty crazy that Cranny and Stafford are still accelerating, still putting their foot on the gas.
Yeah, it does not look like there's an end in sight to this pace. It's a pretty incredible performance that Cranny and Stafford are putting on right now. They're going to go ahead and lap Edna Kurgat. Cranny's cooking, Stafford's cooking. Jeez, Elise Cranny looks real good in this race, huh?
Stafford as well, both ladies.
The amount of improvement since the Valentine meet when Cranny ran the 5K, I think with Schweitzer and Fraser a couple of years back, is incredible. Elise Cranny smoking here on this Boston University track. Stafford chasing behind again with that Canadian record in her sights. It's Elise Cranny in the white and the black shorts, and Stafford in the white and the red shorts behind her.
And at this point in time, it's looking like we might have good news for Stafford, bad news for the Canadian record, because she's on pace for 14:43.
I'm going to pull it out again, Ryan. The Canadian record don't care about its feelings. Gabriela Debues-Stafford is going to go after it all the way. It's Cranny and Gabriela Debues-Stafford. Elise Cranny is turning over. Looks like a great American muscle car over here, Elise Cranny. Debues-Stafford hanging with her as well.
Unbelievable second half of the race by Cranny and Debues-Stafford.
Cranny's going to bounce to the outside, start lapping competition again. Stafford's going too.
Coming up on 400 meters to go.
Let's see what these two can do. Cranny's done a lot of work. 13:27 with 400 meters left to go here at Boston University. Cranny and Stafford now shoulder and shoulder.
Debues-Stafford has made up the ground and is giving Cranny a run for her money. The projected pace down to 14:37, so barring something catastrophic, we're going to see a huge new Canadian record as we're going into the bell lap.
It's Cranny and Stafford, 1-2 at the bell lap, 14 minutes and 4,800 meters. Cranny and Stafford clapping it up around the track as everyone who can.
Unbelievable running there.
Stafford's going to go. She's going to power past Cranny.
Look at her go. She's going to smash this Canadian record in the 5K. How far under is she going to get is the question.
Remember, that facility record's 14:30. How about Stafford going in, running 14:31. Elise Cranny, 14:33. These Bowerman ladies, what a night for them. How about that? Stafford might have two of the best indoor track and field weeks in a row for any women in Canadian history. Gets the 3K record and the 5K record. That is Gabriela Debues-Stafford, and then followed up by a great performance from Elise Cranny. And how about Courtney Frericks? What a show these women put on. That race was epic. Epic, Ryan, epic.
It looked like we were off to a pretty slow start early, or right on pace for that Canadian record, and just always wonder if the athletes are going to hang on. And the response that we saw from Debues-Stafford and Cranny in that second half of the race was unbelievable, and they made their surge very early too. And by the time you had about half mile to go, you knew that these women were going to put a very good performance in today. Unbelievable.
Holy smokes. Holy smokes.
No, I'm not even pointing at it.
All right, so the final premier event of the day did not disappoint. Gabriela Debues-Stafford with a new record for the whole country of Canada.
I didn't know what you were doing.
The time of 14:31.38. Elise Cranny and Courtney Frericks also putting in great performances. Cranny and Debues-Stafford both close that facility record.
Ladies, take a step back, please.